It's kind of wild when you stop and think about it. Every single day, we're basically pouring our lives into artificial intelligence. We chat with it, we let it organize our photos, we ask it our most private health questions. I mean, these AI systems know us in ways that would have sounded like pure science fiction just a few years back.
I mean, really think about your day-to-day. The little commands you shout at your smart speaker, the way you let some fun app scan your face, even how your favorite streaming service knows exactly what you want to watch next. We're constantly feeding these digital brains little pieces of who we are.
But here's the question we almost never ask. What happens when these AI companies just disappear? And this isn't some movie plot. It's a very real problem happening right now. Companies go bankrupt, they get bought out, or they just decide to work on something new. And all our data? It's just left hanging in limbo. And that's where things get a little spooky. It's kind of like a digital ghost story. When an AI service shuts down, that echo of your life, the digital you that's been built on its servers, is stuck in this state of total uncertainty. Does it just poof, vanish? Or does it hang around, maybe becoming something else entirely?
And look, this is what makes the idea of data so real. We're not talking about some abstract ones and zeros here. We're talking about the actual sound of your voice, the literal map of your face, those health worries you typed into a chatbot late at night, all the private conversations that build a profile of who you are. This isn't just data, this is you. So the big question is, where does this digital version of you actually go? It really boils down to three main possibilities when an AI service pulls the plug. Okay, so first up, we've got the one we're all kind of hoping for. Let's call it the Great Delete. The idea here is simple. The company hits the big red button, and poof, your digital footprint is gone, wiped clean forever. This is what they often promise in their terms of service, and some rules like Europe's GDPR are trying to make sure this actually happens. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the catch. In the digital world, deleted doesn't always mean deleted. Data can stick around in old backups, on servers they forgot about, and for you, the user, proving that it's all actually gone for good is pretty much impossible. You basically have to take their word for it. It's a leap of faith.
And that brings us to the second and honestly much creepier option. We're going to call this one the data ghost. Okay, so in this nightmare scenario, a company goes under. They've got to sell off everything they own to pay the bills. And you know what's often their most valuable asset? Yep, all that user data. Your super detailed profile, your habits, all of it could get bundled up and sold off to whoever writes the biggest check. Just imagine you used a private AI health coach app. You trusted it, but then the company folds. Now all that incredibly personal info is sold to some other company you've never even heard of, and they're using it to decide your insurance rates. It's a massive legal gray area that we're all still trying to figure out. So, that's pretty grim. Is there a better way? Thankfully, yes. Let's talk about a much more hopeful idea, the data vault. The data vault is all about an ethical approach that puts you, the user, back in control. The basic idea is that a company has to either give you your data back in a way you can actually use, or they have to prove with an independent audit that they've completely destroyed it. The key here is that the control stays in your hands.
So how would it work? Well, it's really built on three main pillars. First, you get a secure way to download and take your digital self with you. Second, if you want it all deleted, it's not just a promise. It's verified by a trusted outside party. And third, and this is crucial, they have to be totally transparent and communicate with you through the whole process. You're in the driver's seat.
You see, this whole thing forces us to completely reframe how we think about our data. It's not just about privacy anymore, it's about ownership. It's a huge shift in thinking, right? The old way was to see our data as just another product for companies to buy and sell. But the new, and I think better, way to look at it is that our data is a personal asset. It belongs to us, and we should be the ones who control it, kind of like a digital will for our digital legacy. And that's why this idea is so powerful. You're not just chatting with a smart piece of code. You're building a digital self. Every single question you ask, every photo you upload, every interaction, you're adding another brick to this digital identity. So the next time you interact with an AI, just remember that. Understanding where that digital self goes when the AI dies, well, that's all about claiming control over your own digital life. So it really makes you wonder, what kind of ghost will you leave behind?